Welcome, dear students, to the Android Lite subject. Today, we'll be discussing about the installation part for the Android Studio. So, basically, we require two things, that is JDK and Android Studio. So, before we actually install the Android Studio, we need to have the JDK setup that has to be installed. So, to install the JDK, most of you might be knowing in your Java subject, so we can go to the oracle.com, and from here you can install the JDK. And so I'm just showing the procedure to install the JDK. So you go to the Oracle website and you can click on Oracle JDK, JDK download. Click on this option, and here you can see that there are many versions that are available. So the important thing is you need to first check the type of system that you have, whether you have the 32-bit operating system or 64-bit operating system. According to that, you need to download the JDK version. So latest JDK is also available here, or if you have this JDK 8 or above versions, that is sufficient. So you can go to this and just click on this JDK 64 compressed archive. So and click on this and just say I accept and click on this option. So click on save file and click on OK. So the JDK file will be uh, downloaded. So for my system, I have downloaded this JDK 8U and so on. So now I need to install this. So double click on this and it will ask the permission. Say yes. So here it will ask you for the procedure, and so click on next. And here if you want to install, by default it will be in C drive program files. If you want to change this, and you can change this, and for my system I'm taking it as D drive. Click on OK and say next. So JDK is installing now. It is copying the file and extracting the installer. Say OK. So now change this destination because it is showing C program, but we want it in the D drive. So select D drive and see, drag down, click on program files and go to this, click on Java, JDK, and make a new folder. JRE8 and see, click on OK option and say next. So now it is installing. Now it is saying that the JDK has been successfully installed. So now you can close this. So we are done with the first part, that is the installation of JDK. Now we want to install this Android Studio. So for that, you need to go to this site, developer.android.com/studio. So you'll get this page, and from here you need to download the Android Studio. So we are looking for the version 4.1.1. So because we have already tried running the programs on this, so I want everyone to install this version, that is Android 4.1.1. So just click on this download Android Studio option. It will ask you for the permission. Say I have read and agree, and then click on download Android Studio for Windows. So now here you can see that it is asking for the save file option. Click on save file. So from here you can observe that uh, the Android Studio is being getting downloaded. So now we have downloaded the Android Studio 4.1.1 for the Windows, and we have kept it in the D drive. And this is the setup that you get after the downloading of Android Studio. And one more important thing that you need to remember is the JDK and Android Studio should be installed in the same directory. For our case, we have installed the JDK in the D drive, so we are installing the Android Studio in the D drive itself. So both should be in the same directory. So this is the setup that we get, and if you double click on this, this is the setup or the installer that you can observe. Now, before you install it, right click on this and say run as administrator. And it will ask you for the permission. Say yes. Click on next. Click on next option. Now here you need to make changes because we have installed it in the D drive. So just change to D drive and say next. Say install. So it is extracting the files. And while installing, you require the internet connection because some of the files will be updated from the internet. So uh, this is the online installation, we can say. So this installation setup is completed. So doubly check whether the internet connection is stable or no before you continue with the installation. Say click on finish. Click on OK option. Click on don't send. Say next. Go for the standard installation and click on next. Click on next and say finish. Uh, Here you can see that it is downloading all the components and required files. So depending on your internet speed, it will take little time. Minimum it will take half an hour. So you just wait so that all the files are uh, properly downloaded and get installed. The components have been downloaded successfully. Now click on finish option. Now click on create new project. So here we are actually starting with the first project, but in this we are not going to start with the lab programs. Here we'll be just starting the software, I mean the Android Studio for the first time, where it requires few other files like Gradle and SDK. So that will be required to be started with the first project. So you can click on empty activity and say next. Then you have to give a name for your program or for your project. So you can say that demo, and then you need to select the version here. Language, you need to select Java, and uh, then SDK you can take Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, and then click on finish option. And for here also you require this internet connection, because here you can see that it is getting updated here. So this thing you need to observe, and this is required for only the uh, initial stage, that is for the first time it is required, so that it can download the Gradle and SDK. So you can see that the Gradle is getting downloaded, and it depends on your internet speed, and so you need to wait for it. So here you can see that there is a message that is being displayed, demonstrated successfully. So this indicates that the entire Android has been installed successfully on the system, and we can start executing the programs. So that's all we have in the first session. In the coming classes, we'll be starting with the lab programs. Thank you all.